Today, I'm standing in the future spot of the Indoor Equine Center at beautiful Lockwood Park, which in my opinion, as someone who's been at the district for 28 years, is gonna go down as one of the most important facilities and programs in the history of our organization. This is a critical process right now because the kids in our community are in crisis, and they've been in crisis for a long time. Many of them don't believe in themselves or believe in the future of their lives, and that's the heart of this project and this facility. Is it's going to reinstill kids' confidence and self-worth. One thing that's really important about this project and this program is that it's for all kids. It doesn't matter how old they are, it doesn't matter what they look like, where they come from, what culture they are. Every kid is dealing with something right now in our community. And when they come in and they work with our trained professionals and partners, they're gonna be able to help work out the issues that they have. Our kids are dealing with mental, social, emotional crisis right now.
I'm a parent of Tiffany. She's an 18-year-old young woman. And Tiffany started in this type of therapeutic program when she was about 6. Just that animal interaction, especially, like I say, big animal interaction. It changes the whole dynamic of their therapeutic experience. So what we found through the years was that her time to go and interact with the animals was something that she looked forward to. She felt positive about herself. She developed these good relationships with other adults. And for her, this was primarily, social, emotional, communication, relationships and stuff. A really cool thing to see is Tiffany leading a horse. They follow her because she's developed a relationship with these particular animals.
Equine-assisted therapy as well as equine-assisted learning is critical at this time period as an alternative to traditional talk therapy. The horses, being herd animals, are able to reflect back to us where we're at an emotional state. So that way of learning how to interact with someone else and being able to face certain challenges that we're not going to traditionally do in a therapy office is one of the huge benefits.
I always was involved with horses. Love them just like any kid. But I started to get involved in things that you never would have really expected. I put myself in situations that I shouldn't have been in. I was in a violent relationship starting at the age of 16 and ended up in a spiral of domestic abuse, relationship abuse. Fast forward, by the time I was 21, I was still in that relationship. That really sent me into a hopeless situation. I knew that there was more, but I just couldn't figure my way out. I have a strong faith, and I think that for me, that's where horses came back into my life. There was a time where I finally just stopped doing just long enough to be quiet with this animal, and it was the first time that I felt seen in more years that I could remember. That horse I felt him look at me and saw who I really was. And that was a small moment, but it gave me just enough hope to continue the next day. They meet you where you're at. There are no expectations. They don't care what's happened to you. They approach you and they meet you in a place where you can be vulnerable and start to actually just be who you are, which for me ended up being a time of acceptance. And then at that point, I was able to start to learn how to be okay again. So it was the horses that saved me.
The Perks Family Foundation is excited about this opportunity for a variety of reasons. I mean, there's the obvious connection of our lives with the horses and on the ranch. And we love supporting the health and wellness of our kids in the community. When we started out with this, we were just talking about a riding program and a building that would extend the year. Jay's team were really open and adaptable. We said, I think we should do some more strategic planning around this and find out where this could go. And they did a super job of bringing together the community in a series of meetings and stuff and listening to the community. And that's when the whole mental health care concerns came out, and could we do something to combine the two attributes? And it came out, and then it started to build into a huge groundswell. We have a great relationship with the Park District, and we'd love to support everything, but this obviously just inflamed us. See, the funny thing is, humans, we think language is the way to communicate. We don't have a language with horses unless you learn theirs. And they give you little pieces, just like this colt is, little pieces of feedback all the time. So watch, if I do this, you scared me, right? If I do this, is I'm curious, but I don't know that I trust you. And so those minute pieces of feedback kind of reprogram your brain, where if I get it from a human who's trying to direct me and teach me, right? Yeah. I won't learn as much, you know, because I'm just processing mentally. This way I'm processing with my whole heart, right?
At Rosecrans, we understand that young people are struggling in this community, as in many communities across the country. And any way that we can find to connect the kids into a different level of healing and growth is important.
I've worked in equine-assisted learning and doing equine-assisted learning activities and psychotherapies for about 13 years. Looking outside of myself, I've witnessed countless people find hope and find the beginning of their healing journey. And that is what has kept me going in this journey with horses, myself and my story, but also the stories of so many people that I've watched be able to find what they needed through their interactions.
We see it at the Park District all the time. When a child enters into a program at the Park District, they're not the only ones impacted. The whole family comes along with. And these types of services and programs are big not only for the child or the youth that are going to be involved in them, but their network. This is a lifesaver for families, not just the participants that are in the programs. And that's what the Park District's all about. We're about renewal of life. We're about recreation. We're about people coming out and escaping the things that they're dealing with. And so this program and this facility is going to be the ultimate escape, because it's going to also allow therapeutic healing, working with our professional counselors in the field of mental and social emotional health. Teamed up with our equestrian experts in this beautiful park, it will be the ultimate opportunity for kids to heal so that kids can go and play.